I swear, Victor, if we don't act soon, she'll ruin everything we've built. The old bat is on to us, handing the company to outsiders. We can't let that happen. Remember what I did for us last time. It's time to finish this." Those words froze me in place. I stood just outside the door of my own home office, my hand hovering over the knob. The voices belonged to my daughter Lydia and her husband Victor. They were inside thinking they were alone in the dead of night. But I had come down for a glass of water, insomnia gnawing at me again. Now my heart pounded like a drum in my chest. What did she mean by, "what I did for us last time"? And who was this old bat they wanted to finish? My name is Elena Rossi. I'm 62 years old, and what I'm about to reveal will shatter everything you thought you knew about trust ambition and the monsters hiding in your own bloodline. Just 3 nights ago, my daughter Lydia and her husband Victor tried to poison my husband Marcus and me during a family dinner. As the toxin coursed through my veins, making the room spin, I heard Marcus gasp beside me, "Elena, fight it. Pretend you're gone." But that was only the beginning. The real horror came when Marcus confessed a secret our family had buried for 22 years, a truth that turned my world to ashes. For nearly 4 decades, Marcus and I had forged what we believed was an unbreakable empire. We started in a tiny garage in Silicon Valley, back when tech was just a whisper of the future. I was a software engineer fresh out of Stanford, full of fire and ideas. Marcus, with his sharp business mind from his days in finance, handled the deals. Together we built RossiTech, a cybersecurity firm that now protects half the Fortune 500. Our mornings began with strong espresso and code reviews, the hum of servers mixing with the scent of innovation. I led the tech team, dreaming up algorithms that outsmarted hackers. Marcus sealed partnerships, his charisma turning skeptics into allies. We had 2 daughters, our eldest Gabriella, born with the same spark that drove me always tinkering with gadgets, helping Marcus crunch numbers, even as a teen. Then came Lydia, 7 years younger, quieter, more watchful. She observed rather than created, but I loved her fiercely. As a mother, you pour your heart equally, or so I convinced myself. Weekends were sacred board meetings at the kitchen table, where Gabriella pitched wild ideas for new apps and Lydia sketched logos in silence. Our home in the hills overlooked the bay, a modern glass haven where success echoed in every room. Evenings, Marcus and I would stroll the winding paths near our property, plotting expansions, global offices, AI integrations, retirement on a yacht someday. I never dreamed those walks were rehearsals for the nightmare ahead. Family events filled our calendar barbecues with my brothers Angelo and Vito, their wives and kids turning our backyard into chaos. Laughter rang out, tech talk mingled with Italian recipes from my Nonna's book. Marcus was my rock after 38 years. He still left sticky notes with code puns on my laptop. We'd brainstorm late into the night, me debugging while he balanced the books. We were partners in every sense, invincible, or so it seemed. But perfect empires hide cracks. When Gabriella turned 25, tensions simmered. She clashed with Lydia over company roles. I overheard heated whispers in the halls, falling silent when I entered. Marcus dismissed it as sibling rivalry. They'll sort it out. I wanted to believe him. Our legacy depended on unity. One stormy night in November 22nd years ago, Gabriella didn't show for our strategy meeting. We waited 8 p.m., 9, then midnight. Lydia claimed she was at a client dinner, but her eyes darted oddly. Marcus rallied neighbors. They scoured the city, every cafe, every bridge. At dawn, her car was found wrecked off Highway 1, plunged into the ocean. Police called it a tragic skid on wet roads. I accepted it. Grief blinded me to darker possibilities. Gabriella's funeral gutted me. I wore a simple black suit, clutching Marcus as sobs racked me. Lydia stood stoic, almost detached, her calm, now haunting in hindsight. Marcus held firm, whispering strength, though his voice cracked with unspoken weight. After Lydia transformed, eager, supportive, filling Gabriella's void. She dove into operations, charmed clients, even brought me herbal teas during late nights. I saw it as healing. Foolish me. She was crafting a facade. Years blurred. Lydia wed Victor, a slick venture capitalist from LA, polished and ambitious. They had 3 kids, and joy returned. Victor called me boss mom, brainstorming mergers over wine. Lydia ran marketing her campaigns, boosting stocks. RossiTech thrived, a $150 million valuation poised for IPO. But shadows crept in. 8 months back, when Marcus and I revised our succession plan. We'd amassed wealth, the company patents our estate, nearly $300 million. Lydia pushed for a consultant. "Mom, Dad, you're in your 60s. Let's secure the legacy," she said, smile sharp. Victor nodded, gripping my shoulder. "We adore you. This protects everyone." The advisor, our old friend Carla, outlined options: trusts, shares divided among grandkids, or direct inheritance. Lydia urged naming her and Victor as primary successors. "We'll distribute fairly, plus we'll manage when you slow down." Her tone prickled, but Marcus agreed, ever the optimist. I hesitated. Gabriella had dreamed of leading, vowing to innovate for us in retirement. But she was gone. Lydia was our heir. We signed on a crisp Monday. Victor toasted with champagne. "Family forever," Lydia whispered, hugging me tight. Chills ran down my spine, unexplained. Post-signing visits shifted. No more casual chats, always probes: upgrade the office, invest in crypto, buy life insurance. Mom, sell the headquarters, go boutique. Victor suggested eyeing our servers like prizes. We'd find you a cozy spot downtown. But I cherished our hub, the labs, where ideas sparked the garage shrine to our start. Every wall held history. When I resisted, Lydia's eyes flashed irritation. "You're stubborn, Mom. This place is a relic. If you slip on those stairs, we're hours away." Marcus pondered their logic. "Practical as always," he murmured. They might be right. But I sensed undercurrents. One evening, after a strained dinner, I quizzed him. "Doesn't Lydia's push for control feel off?" He paused mid-brush. "Elena, she's invested. Maybe we're overthinking." But his gaze held doubt. Now I know he'd pieced together fragments I ignored. Escalation hit when Victor proposed power of attorney. "Precaution," he said casually as Lydia poured coffee like she owned the counter. "If illness strikes, we handle seamlessly." Sleepless, I phoned my brother Angelo. Sharp-eyed, he listened. "Elena, why the rush for control? Lydia's thriving. Unless something's amiss." His words struck true. Lydia's division profited, no red flags, yet the pressure mounted. Next day, confronting Lydia. "Why crave our reins? We're sharp." Her face tightened, eyes cold like someone else distant. "It's care, Mom. Responsibility." Victor chimed, "We want your best." But best rang hollow. That night, Marcus and I argued first in years. "You're paranoid," he said, rinsing plates. Recall Lydia, pre-Gabriella, withdrawn, envious almost. He froze, eyes meeting mine, recognition dawning. "Elena," he whispered low, "Gabriella's death. I never told you everything." My breath caught. "What about it?" He slumped at our marble island where strategies birthed. Gabriella sketched dreams. Lydia lurked silent. Hands trembling, he confessed. "The crash night, Lydia wasn't home. I saw her slip out at 7, followed her mood volatile lately." Pause heavy. "They argued by the cliffs, screams about shares control." World tilted. Over what? Tears welled unseen since the funeral. Inheritance. Lydia raged Gabriella favored set to lead, but deeper Gabriella uncovered Lydia siphoning funds. Proof in emails. Mind reeled. My youngest post-loss pillar thieving, since before. Why hide? Betrayal doubled. Arrived too late, saw Lydia by the wreck. She sobbed. Accident, Dad. She lunged, car veered, begged cover-up. You believed, nodded, guilt etched. My girl Elena, Gabriella gone, couldn't lose both. Thought lesson learned. And funds, promised repayment, bad investment, swore reform, but never did. Ignored dips, complicit. Truth crystallized. Her push now, not love, greed. Marcus agreed. Worse, her firm's tanking. Debts over $200,000. Forged docs glimpsed. Victor knows. Absolutely. Probes, assets, policies calculating our worth dead. Dead horror bloomed. If Sibling for shares, parents for empire, we alert authorities. Proof I'm accomplice. Who trusts a 65-year-old secret keeper? Logic trapped us. Wait for strike. Phone rang, Lydia. Mom, Victor, and I planned your anniversary bash. Fancy gala at the Vineyard Networking Toasts Family Spotlight. Blood iced. Marcus paled. Invitation to execution. That invitation hung over us like a storm cloud, heavy and inevitable. Lydia's voice on the phone had been all sugar, but underneath I heard the edge sharp as a hidden blade. A gala at the Vineyard. Networking under twinkling lights, toasts to our legacy. It screamed setup. Marcus and I stared at each other in the dim kitchen light, the weight of his confession still crushing the air between us. How do you decline your own funeral without tipping your hand? We couldn't. Not yet. We'll play along. Marcus whispered, his face drawn. Gather proof. Turn their trap against them. His plan was risky, but what choice did we have? Our empire, our lives, everything hinged on outsmarting the daughter we'd raised to conquer the world. The next morning, I called Lydia back, forcing cheer into my voice. Sweetheart, the gala sounds perfect. We're in. She squealed with delight, or what passed for it. Mom, you won't regret it. Victor's pulling strings, VIP guests, the works. It'll be RossiTech's night to shine. Shine or burn. I hung up my hands, shaking. Marcus was already at his desk, pulling financials discreetly. Elena's right, he muttered. Debts piling up. Victor's fund is underwater, too. Leveraged bets gone sour. We spent the week in a haze of preparation and paranoia. Lydia dropped by unannounced arms full of swatches and menus. Mom, try this dress sample, she said, holding up a sleek black number. Her eyes scanned our home office, lingering on the safe where we kept patents and keys. Victor trailed her all smiles, but I caught him glancing at my laptop screen. Big announcement planned, he asked casually. Rumors of an IPO, I deflected. Just dreams for now. Inside, alarm bells rang. Were they hacking our systems? Siphoning code, Gabriella had warned me once in a late-night chat. Lydia's ambitious mom. Watch the shadows. I'd laughed it off then. Now those words haunted me. Evenings, Marcus and I pored over old records. He showed me the discrepancies funds drained in trickles, starting 23 years back, just before Gabriella's crash. She covered tracks well, he said, voice thick. Fake vendors, ghost accounts. Gabriella spotted it first. Tears stung my eyes. My eldest, brilliant and bold, gone because she dared confront the thief in our midst. Why protect her? I pressed again, anger bubbling. Marcus sighed, rubbing his temples. Fear, guilt, love twisted into something ugly. I thought time would heal her, make her worthy of the legacy. Worthy, she'd poison that legacy drop by drop. Harriet's call came midweek, my sister-in-law sharp as ever from her days in forensics. I'd confided vaguely, testing waters. Elena, something's off with Lydia's pushiness. Victor, too, heard whispers in VC circles, his funds circling the drain. She paused. Dig deeper. Protect yourselves. Her advice solidified our resolve. Marcus installed hidden cams in the office synced to a cloud only we accessed. If they snoop, we'll have video. Lydia's visits intensified. Thursday, she arrived with Victor and the grandkids. Little Mia 8 with Gabriella's curls. Theo 6 all energy. And baby Luca toddling with glee. Innocence in this web. Nonna. Mia hugged me, her drawing of our family a stab to the heart-stick figures smiling under a RossiTech logo. Lydia watched, eyes soft for a beat, then calculating. Mom, about the gala, wear that sapphire necklace, symbol of our blue-chip future. Victor pulled Marcus aside, murmuring about opportunities. I eavesdropped from the hall. Dad signed this proxy vote. Quick merger chance, boost, valuation, pre-IPO. Marcus demurred. Let's discuss post-gala. Victor's jaw tightened a flicker of frustration. That night, alone in bed, doubts assaulted me. Was I wrong, Lydia? My flesh and blood, could she truly plot our end? Memories flooded her as a child, shy in Gabriella's shadow me, encouraging her. You're a Rossi too, Kara. Shine your way. Had I created this monster, or just failed to see it? Friday, we argued again. Confront her now, I urged. Marcus shook his head. Too soon. We need ironclad proof for police for us. He revealed more. Post-crash, Lydia confessed details. Gabriella threatened exposure. Pushed her buttons, called her a leech. Lydia snapped tampered with brakes. Accident, she claimed. I helped stage it, towed the car, called it in anonymously. His shame choked him. Complicit from that night. Horror gripped me. You staged my daughter's death. He nodded, broken. To save the other. God forgive me. We prepped defenses. Marcus hit a panic button app on his phone linked to private security. I stashed pepper spray in my purse. If it goes south at the gala, he said, we bolt. Saturday dawned, crisp Silicon Valley sun mocking our dread. Lydia texted, car service at 6. Can't wait. We dressed me in the black gown, sapphire gleaming like a target. Marcus in his tailored suit, hiding a voice recorder in his pocket. Everything captured, he whispered. Their words our shield. The limo ride to Napa was surreal. Lydia and Victor joined us en route, champagne flowing. To family empires, Victor toasted, eyes glinting. Lydia leaned in. Mom, Dad, tonight's special. Announcements that'll change everything. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. The vineyard glowed, string lights, jazz band, tech, moguls mingling. RossiTech banners everywhere. Guests congratulated us. Pioneers. But I scanned for exits, heart racing. Lydia worked the room, Victor schmoozing investors. Potential buyers, he murmured to a cluster. Buyers. Our company wasn't for sale. Dinner seated us at a head table overlooking vines. Courses arrived, appetizers, salads, mains. Lydia insisted on the wine. Special vintage just for you. Marcus and I exchanged glances. Was this it? As dessert came, chocolate torte with berries, Lydia raised her glass. To Mom and Dad, architects of our future. We sipped. Minutes later, the room tilted. Nausea hit vision, blurring. Marcus gripped my hand under the table. Poison, he mouthed. My throat burned, limbs heavy. Guests blurred into haze. Lydia leaned close. Feeling okay, Mom? Her concern feigned. Victor signaled waitstaff distraction. Marcus whispered, pretend collapse. I slumped head on table. Gasps erupted. Call 911, someone yelled, but Lydia's voice cut through. No, they're fine, just tired, we'll handle. Chaos. Victor helped Marcus to rest, guiding us to a private lounge. Doors shut, masks dropped. Finally, Lydia hissed, took long enough. I lay still, eyes slitted, fighting toxin. Marcus groaned weakly. What did you do? Victor's laugh chilled. Slow acting. Looks like heart failure, natural for your age. Why? Marcus rasped, recorder rolling. Lydia paced. You hoard it all. Gabriella got the glory. Now you plan outsiders for succession. We built this too. Debts mounting your empire pays them. Like Gabriella. Marcus baited. Pause. She had to go. Snooping, threatening. Brakes failed, tragic. Confession. My blood boiled, but body betrayed paralysis creeping. Victor checked pulses. They're fading. Call it in soon, heroes who tried saving them. They left to alert help. Alone, Marcus squeezed my hand. Fight Elena. Evidence got. But weakness overwhelmed. Darkness edged in. Would we survive to use it? Sirens wailed distant. Help or too late. Sirens pierced the night, growing louder, a lifeline in the haze of poison. I lay slumped in the vineyard's private lounge, body numb, fighting to stay conscious. Marcus beside me, his breathing shallow, our hands linked in secret. Lydia and Victor had stepped out to summon help, their voices fading into the gala's murmur. but we'd heard enough they're gloating the admission about Gabriella's breaks. The recorder in Marcus's pocket hummed silently, capturing it all. If we died here, at least the truth would outlive us. Paramedics burst in shouts overlapping. 2 down, possible overdose check, vitals. Rough hands on my wrist, a light in my eyes. I kept still, pulse faint from the toxin playing the part. "This one's critical," a woman said. "Weak heartbeat, shallow breaths. The man, too, get the antidotes ready. Looks like digitalis or something cardiac." Digitalis, plant-based subtle, perfect for natural heart failure in seniors. Lydia's special vintage wine. Clever. Guests hovered outside, whispers filtering in. What happened to the Rossis? Tragic right at their celebration. Lydia's sob carried, "My parents, please save them. See, Oscar-worthy. They loaded us onto stretchers, V's, piercing veins. Antidote flowed cool relief, battling fire in my chest." Marcus groaned softly, genuine now. As they wheeled us out, Victor's face loomed, feigned worry cracking. "Will they make it?" he asked a medic. "Touch and go. Hospital now." In the ambulance doors slammed. Sirens blared again. A paramedic monitored us. "Ma'am, if you hear me, squeeze my hand." I didn't too risky. What if word got back hospital lights assaulted me? ER chaos beeps, shouts. "Incoming suspected poisoning elderly couple." Doctors swarmed. "Tox screen stat. Push more antidote." I felt probe scans. Hours blurred in semi-consciousness, the drug's grip loosening. When I surfaced, a nurse adjusted my drip. Room quiet Marcus in the next bed, hooked to machines. Guards at the door. No standard. I tested my voice, a rasp. "Marcus?" He stirred. "Elena, we made it." His eyes met mine, relief mingled with pain. "Recorder's safe." I slipped it to a nurse, said it's evidence. Footsteps. A doctor entered, clipboard in hand. "Mrs. Rossi, you're awake. Lucky the antidote countered most of it. Your husband's stable, too. What happened?" Truth time. But caution first. "My daughter and son-in-law, they did this." His brow furrowed. "Poisoned you, will call police." Detective Ramirez arrived fast, a sturdy woman in her 40s, badge gleaming. "I'm here about the incident. You claim family involvement." I nodded, voice stronger. "Recorded proof. They confessed poisoned our wine and my other daughter's death 22 years ago. Not an accident." Marcus chimed in weakly. Phone recorder handed to Nurse Evans. Ramirez retrieved it, played back. Lydia's hiss. "Finally. Took long enough." Victor. "Looks like heart failure." Lydia on Gabriella. "She had to go. Brakes failed, tragic." The detective's face hardened. "This is damning. Motive. Company control, debts. They siphoned funds for years." She noted everything. "We'll verify. Your daughter's outside with her husband playing concerned family." My gut twisted. "Don't let them in." Already isolated. Officers en route. While she worked, I pieced more. Marcus confessed further in whispers. After Gabriella, Lydia vowed change. But habits died hard. Small thefts, expense pads, vendor kickbacks. I covered fearing scandal would tank RossiTech. Why? Pain laced my question. Denial, pride, our legacy. Tears tracked his cheeks. "Failed you both." Nurse Evans returned, eyes wide. Heard the tape. Horrifying. Ramirez's radio crackled. "Financials check out. Lydia Rossi's accounts show massive debts. Victor's fund insolvent. Forged signatures on loans against RossiTech assets." More layers. They'd mortgaged our empire behind our backs. Lydia and Victor were in the waiting room, consoling guests via calls. "Mom and Dad are fighters." Lydia posted on social tech circles, buzzing. Irony, our cybersecurity firm breached by kin. Arrest came swift. Through a cracked door, I heard, "Lydia Rossi, Victor Kane, you're under arrest for attempted murder, fraud, and suspicion in Gabriella Rossi's death." Lydia's shriek, "What, we're victims?" Victor, "This is insane. Our in-laws collapsed." Ramirez, "They're alive and talking. Evidence points to you." Struggle ensued, cuffs clicked. Lydia spat, "You old fools should have signed over quietly." Victor, it was her idea, the wind the brakes. Alliance crumbled. Liar, you tampered with the car, Lydia yelled. Transported separately, their blame game recorded too. Post-arrest hospital quieted. My brother Angelo arrived face thunderous. Elena, I knew Victor was shady, VC rumors of embezzlement. He hugged me. Kids are with us. Confused but safe. Grandkids. Mia's drawing flashed innocence caught in crossfire. Lawyer Carla visited next. Case strong, tape talks, reports financials. But they'll fight. Claim stress, not intent. Stress. They planned murder. She nodded. We'll bury them in evidence. Days dragged recovery slow. Ribs ached from convulsions, heart monitored. Marcus' weaker toxin hit his arrhythmia hard. If we hadn't pretended... He trailed. Nights, nightmares, Gabriella's crash, Lydia's cold eyes, woke sweating, questioning motherhood. Had I favored Gabriella, pushed Lydia to shadows, police dug deeper. Gabriella's car stored in evidence re-examined, brakes confirmed, tampered, Lydia's prints. No, but Victor's old mechanic tie surfaced. He'd helped that night. Motive fleshed, Lydia's jealousy boiled young. Diaries found raids on their home. Entries, Gabby gets everything, I'll take it. Victor's emails, eliminate obstacles, IPO hours. Thefts totaled $80,000 over years, seed for their failed ventures. Media exploded, tech dynasty poison plot. Reporters camped. I declined interviews focus on healing. Grandkids visited supervised. Mia clung, why can't mommy come? Broke my heart. She's away, but we're here. Theo asked about Aunt Gabby, told gentle tales her inventions laughter, seeds of truth for later, discharge week later. Home felt violated cameras showed Lydia snooping pre-gala copying files, changed locks bolstered security. Marcus and I sat on our deck bay twinkling. Rebuild, he asked, without them. New will trust for kids' board oversight. But peace elusive. Trial loom, testimony confrontations. Then a call detective. More evidence Lydia's accomplice. Old colleague testifies she bragged about handling sister. Cliffhanger deepened. Who else knew our empire's rot ran deeper? The detective's call lingered in my mind like a virus in our code, unseen but destructive. An accomplice. Someone else knew about Lydia's hand in Gabriella's death. Marcus and I sat in our living room, the Bay Area fog pressing against the windows, mirroring the haze in our thoughts. We'd just returned home, bodies mending, but spirits fractured. The grandkids were with Angelo for the weekend, giving us space to process. But this new twist, it threatened to unravel everything we'd fought to expose. Who, I demanded when Ramirez followed up in person. She arrived that afternoon, notebook in hand, her expression a mix of triumph and caution. A former RossiTech intern, Kyle Tran, worked under Lydia 20 years back, came forward after the news broke, says she confided in him during a late-night coding session bragging about removing competition to climb the ladder. Marcus paled. Bragging to an intern? Ramirez nodded. Liquid courage whiskey after hours. He thought it was exaggeration then. Kept quiet for a job reference, but your story jogged his memory. He's willing to testify. Proof piled up, but so did the pain. Lydia hadn't just acted in rage. She'd boasted like a trophy. What kind of daughter had we raised? We dove into damage control. Carla, our lawyer, convened a war room at Home Files, spread across the dining table where family dinners once thrived. Kyle's statement corroborates the tape. Adds premeditation to Gabriella's case, but defense will attack hearsay from a disgruntled ex-employee. We need more. Search her old emails, Marcus suggested. Our servers held archives. Carla agreed. Warrant pending. Meanwhile, freeze assets. Lydia and Victor forged loans $150,000 against patents. We reclaim that. Financial autopsy revealed more rot. Lydia's marketing budget inflated kickbacks to Victor's shell companies. Our IPO dreams sabotaged by leaked prototypes to competitors. They were selling us out, Marcus whispered, scanning reports, piece by piece. Nights blurred into strategy sessions. I couldn't sleep replaying Gabriella's last words of voicemail the crash night. Mom found something big on Lydia. Meeting her, sort this. I'd dismissed it as work stress. Now a death sentence. Grandkids' visit mid-week crushed me. Mia clutching her tablet. Nona Mommy's on TV. They say bad things. News clips looped our faces. Arrests. Tech betrayal scandal. Theo built forts with cushions, oblivious. Luca babbled, tugging my sling. We explained gently. Angelo advised, dropping them off. Parents made mistakes, away for now. But Mia's eyes pierced. Did Mommy hurt Aunt Gabby? Kids sensed lies. Tell truth in pieces, I said later to Marcus. They deserve better than our secrets. He nodded, guilt heavy. My silence enabled this. If I'd spoken after Gabriella... Stop. I gripped his hand. We fix forward. Police raid on Lydia's home yielded gold, her journal hidden in a safe. Entries chilling. Gabby's onto the skims. Can't let her ruin me. Victor says breaks are easy. Accidents happen. Dates matched. Victor's prints on tools from his garage. Favors. Media frenzy escalated. Reporters staked our gate. Drones buzzed overhead. A podcaster dubbed it Silicon Slayings. I granted one interview to a trusted tech journal. Not for sympathy, I told the reporter. For warning, ambition unchecked destroys. Clip went viral. Support flooded old colleagues, rivals even. But backlash too. Rossi's hid thefts, complicit. Marcus's role surfaced in leaks. Accomplice! Headline screamed. Carla fielded it. Plea deal possible for Marcus testimony for immunity, but jury might see sympathy. No, he insisted. I own my part. Emotional toll mounted. Therapy sessions mandated by court for custody. Shrink probed, favoritism. I admitted subtle biases. Gabriella's tech genius mirrored mine. Lydia's marketing felt secondary. Pushed her away. Self-doubt gnawed. Lydia's prison call came supervised. Mom, her voice small like childhood. Anger surged. Why, silence. You never saw me, always Gabby. I took what I deserved. By murder, click, hung up. Victor's separate call. It was Lydia manipulated me. Coward. Custody hearing loomed. Social worker evaluated. Stable home trauma impact. We prepped rooms for kids' routines. They need us, I argued in session. Judge nodded. Temporary granted, permanent post-trial. Kids moved in. Mia's nightmares. Mommy poisoning juice. We soothed and rolled therapy. Theo's anger broke toys. Luca clung constantly. RossiTech board met virtually. Resign, chair asked. Scandals tanked stock 30%. No, I fired back. Rebuild clean, audit all, new ethics code. Marcus supported transparency now. Hired investigators private. Unearthed more Lydia's affair with Kyle, no blackmail. He'd known extorted silence payments. Not accomplice, Ramirez clarified. Victim turned witness. Twist Kyle's testimony included Victor's help in brake tampering tools loaned. Case solidified, but defense countered psych evals. Lydia's borderline jealousy disorder. Victor coerced. BS our side experts debunked. Months ticked. Pre-trial motions. Evidence battles. Defense suppressed journal denied. Personal low anniversary alone. No gala ghosts, but memories haunted. Marcus cooked pasta, our first date dish. We survived. He toasted weakly. Health faltered, heart strain from poison. Doctor's visit. Monitor closely, stress exacerbates. Grandkids brightened Mia-coded simple app for Aunt Gabby. Theo drew family trees minus parents. Luca's first words, nonna love. Yet shadows anonymous threats. Drop charges or else. Security upped. Detective update. Lydia's cracking offered deal. Blames Victor fully. Take it, Carla asked. No, full trial, justice for Gabriella. Eve of trial, I visited her grave overlooking ocean waves crashing like her spirit. We got them, Cara. Rest now. But as I left, phone buzzed unknown. You think it's over, secrets bury deep. Who accomplice lingering or bluff trial dawn broke uncertainty. The anonymous threat echoed in my ears as I stared at the phone screen. You think it's over, secrets bury deep. Who sent it, a burner number untraceable at first glance. Marcus and I were in the kitchen, coffee cooling untouched the morning after my graveside visit. Trial started today. Jury selection opening statements. But this message... It felt like a ghost from our fractured past, rattling chains we thought silenced. Bluff. Marcus said, though his voice wavered. Defense tactics scare us off stand. He forwarded it to Ramirez. Her reply swift, tracing, stay vigilant, security detail en route. We dressed for court me in a gray suit armor against stairs. Marcus in navy crutches tucked away for strength's illusion. Grandkids waved from the nanny's care, Mia's drawing pinned to fridge. Be brave, Nonna. Her innocence fueled me. Courthouse buzzed media swarm flashes blinding. Mrs. Rossi comment on the poison plot. I pushed through Carla's shielding. Inside sterile halls led to the courtroom wood panels. American flag scales of justice mocking our family's imbalance. Lydia and Victor entered cuffed orange jumpsuits stark. Lydia's hair, dull eyes hollow, met mine, briefly flash of defiance. Victor avoided gaze, whispering to his lawyer. Separate defenses now, each blaming the other. Judge Harlan stern. Silver-haired vet banged gavel. People vs. Lydia Rossi and Victor Kane. Charges first-degree murder of Gabriella Rossi. 2 counts attempted murder, fraud, embezzlement. Prosecutor Ellis opened, "Ladies, gentlemen, this case exposes ambition's dark heart. Defendant's trusted kin plotted to seize an empire through poison and sabotage. Evidence, confessions, tapes, financial trails. We'll prove premeditation, greed's deadly grip." Defense volleyed. Lydia's attorney, "My client victim of manipulation, mental strain. No direct hand in deaths. Will show reasonable doubt." Victor's coerced accessory. Lydia masterminded. He followed blindly. Jury watched averse mixtech worker retiree mom. Eyes scanned faces, would they see our pain? First witness me. Oath taken, heart pounding. Ellis gentle. Mrs. Rossi described the gala. I recounted invitations, chill wines, burn collapse. They confessed while we played dead. Lydia admitted tampering Gabriella's brakes. Victor laughed about natural failure. Cross-exam brutal. Lydia's lawyer, "You favored Gabriella, yes." Pushed Lydia aside. Never intentionally. Loved both. But records show Gabriella groomed for CEO. Lydia sidelined, merit-based. Gabriella excelled. Sneer. Jealousy motive for you to frame her. Objection sustained, but seeds planted. Victor's cross. Your husband hid truths 22 years. Complicit, why trust your account? He redeemed by exposing. We have proof. Step down shaken. Marcus next detailed confessions thefts. I failed my family, but truth now. Defense hammered, you staged Gabriella's scene. Accomplice bias, Bowers. Guilty of silence, not murder. Lunch break, hallway whispers. Reporter cornered, empire crumbling, Carla shooed. Afternoon, Ramirez testified forensics on breaks, poison traces in wine. Digitalis, sourced from Lydia's garden plant extracts, matched. Kyle Tran followed, nervous, bespectacled. Lydia bragged post-crash, sis won't block my rise anymore. Laughed it off as corporate cutthroat. Cross, blackmailed her later, opportunist. No conscience now. Journal read aloud entries damning, Victor's idea wine for folks, clean inheritance. Gasps rippled. Day ended. Home exhausted. Kids' questions. Court fun, Mia asked. Important, I said. For truth. Night brought more threats. Email drop or grandkids next. Police traced prison IP Lydia's reach. Ramirez, smuggled phone investigating. Trial day 2, financial expert. Embezzlement, $120,000 total. Forged loans risked RossiTech bankruptcy. Board member corroborated Lydia leaked IP competitors bid low. Defense, business disputes, not crime. Afternoon twist, Victor turned state witness mid-testimony. His lawyer announced plea deal testify for reduced sentence. Court erupted. Lydia glared daggers. Victor sworn. Lydia planned all. Breaks I provided tools, but she cut lines. Poison her garden, her mix. Debts hers, I followed to save marriage. Ellis. Why now? Remorse. Kids deserve better. Crossed by Lydia's team. Liar. You suggested Cliff for Gabriella, accidental plunge. Forged signatures yours. He flinched. Shared blame. But she pushed. Alliance shattered publicly. Jury leaned forward. Day closed. Media husband turns dynasty drama. Home Marcus brooded. Victor's flip helps case exposes more. But my mind on threats. Security patrolled, kids' school alerted. Day 3 medical experts poison affects our survival miraculous. Gabriella's autopsy revisited. Break failure inconsistent with skid tampered. Defense psych. Lydia's disorder impulsive not calculated. Rebuttal our expert. Calculated journals span years. Closing nears. But evening bombshell Ramirez called. Accomplice confirmed Lydia's old PA Sarah Mills. Helped dispose evidence post-crash. Flipped for immunity. Why now? Fear. Threats from Lydia, silence or else. Sarah's depot. Lydia called frantic clean car site. I wiped prints. Staged debris. More weight. Yet personal hit Mia overheard news cried, Mommy monster hugged her. People err. We love you. Trial paused weekend. Church prayed for strength. Angelo visited, holding barely, Monday closings. Ellis, greed poison this family, hold accountable. Defenses pleaded mitigation, jury out, wait agonizing hours, today's deliberated too. Verdict guilty all counts. Lydia life, no parole. Victor 25 years plea reduced. Courtroom sobs Lydia's wail. Mom, how could you? My reply silent. How could you sentencing later? Relief, mixed grief. But post-verdict final twist, anonymous sender unmasked. Victor's associate debt collector. Pressured for payoff, arrested. Rod uprooted, custody permanent. RossiTech audit, complete rebuilt IPO ahead. Yet scars remain. Gabriella's legacy scholarship fund. Healing begins. The courtroom echoed with the finality of the gavel as Judge Harlan pronounced the verdicts. Guilty. The word hung in the air like a release valve on decades of pent-up sorrow. Lydia's wail pierced the silence, a raw animal sound that didn't move me anymore. Victor slumped in his seat, his polished facade cracked beyond repair. The jury filed out, avoiding eyes, their duty done. I sat there, hand in Marcus's, feeling the weight lift, but not entirely. Justice tasted bittersweet like ashes mixed with relief. Media frenzy exploded outside microphones, thrust forward, questions shouted. Mrs. Rossi vindicated. Plans for RossiTech. Carla ushered us to a waiting car security flanking. No comments, she barked. In the back seat, Marcus exhaled long. It's over. Not yet, I said. Sentencing. Home welcomed us with the kids' chaos, Mia baking cookies with the nanny, Theo, zooming toy cars, Luca napping. Nona won, Theo asked, eyes wide. Something like that, Piccolo. I ruffled his hair, hiding tremors. That night, sleep evaded. Memories flooded Lydia's birth, tiny and fierce. Gabriella teaching her code. The crash site's salt air. How did love twist to this sentencing 2 weeks later? Court-packed reporters, tech peers, curious. Lydia first led in shackled face, gaunt. Her lawyer pleaded, trauma shaped her, mercy for rehabilitation. Prosecutor countered, calculated betrayal, life without parole. Victim statements. My turn. I stood voice steady. Lydia, you were my miracle. But you chose greed over family. Stole my daughter our trust. No mercy erases that. She met my gaze, tears streaming. Mom, I'm sorry. First remorse. Or act Victor next his flip-earned leniency plea. Cooperated, his attorney argued. 25 years minimum. I spoke again. You enabled, profited. My grandchildren's father a poisoner. Judge deliberated. Lydia, life, no parole. Victor, 30 years eligible after 25. Lydia collapsed sobbing. Victor, stone-faced. Escorted out, she glanced back. Plea regret. Gone. Aftermath whirlwind. Press conference, I spoke, measured. Justice for Gabriella. Now heal. RossiTech shares rebounded audit complete new board. I announced ethical reboot. Gabriella Innovation Fund scholarships for women in tech. Applause at shareholder meet, but whispers. Marcus's role. He stepped down voluntarily. My silence cost too much. Fresh leadership. I took interim CEO steady ship, hired CSO for internal sweeps. No more shadows. Grandkids adjusted slowly. Custody finalized, judge praised our stability. Mia's school project family timeline. Mom and Dad, away because bad choices. We discussed openly age appropriate. They hurt people. But you loved always. Therapy helped. Group sessions, Marcus admitted guilt. Enabler. Forgave himself piecemeal. Holidays reshaped. Thanksgiving, Angelo's clan over. Laughter, but Gabriella's empty chair ghosted. Toasted her to light in darkness. Christmas kids' excitement mended cracks. Mia's wish, family safe. Gifted her first coding kit, Gabriella's spark reignited. Personal growth, I volunteered, mentored startups. Spot ambition's edge, I advised. Marcus Garden therapeutic away from screens. 1 year post-trial normalcy teased, but letter arrived, prison postmark. Lydia's hand. Mom-dad words failed, jealousy consumed. Gabriella, accident turned nightmare. Forgive visit. Marcus read face ashen. Go debated. Closure, I said. Visit day prison, stark metal clangs. Lydia across glass, aged broken. Thank you for coming. Why write? I asked. Therapy. Realize damage. Kids. Thriving. With us. Tears. Good. I poisoned everything. Gabriella confronted. I panicked. Cut brakes. Victor helped cover. Debts drove rest. We knew, but hearing cathartic. Forgive, she pleaded. Not yet, Marcus said. Time. Left lighter. Not absolved, but humanized. Victor wrote too. Apologies, blame on pressure. Ignored. Life forward. RossiTech IPO successful billion valuation. Donated chunk to charity. Grandkids flourished. Mia won science fair app detecting fraud. Like Nona's work. Theo's art family portraits us central. Luca's chatter, love you. Evenings Marcus and I walked hills echoing old dreams. Rebuilt stronger, he said. Without secrets, I agreed. Yet Gabriella's memory lingered, her dreams our guide. Fund launched, first scholars awarded. At ceremony I spoke, innovation from integrity, my daughter's legacy. Applause healed, 2 years on equilibrium. Kids called us mom, dad, sometimes bittersweet. Lydia's letters continued progress reports, visited sporadically. Forgiveness budding. Empire secure family redefined, but scars reminded trust, fragile love resilient. Time has a way of softening edges, even on the sharpest wounds. 3 years after the trial, our lives had settled into a rhythm that felt almost normal, almost because the ghosts of betrayal never fully fade. RossiTech hummed with new energy, its IPO a distant success story now with shares steady and innovations flowing from fresh talent. I'd stepped back to advisory role, letting a young CEO mentored under Gabriella's fund steer the ship. Marcus tended his garden daily, his heart stronger after surgeries, finding peace in soil and blooms. The grandkids, they were our anchors growing into bright sparks that lit the shadows. But redemption, it crept in quietly like dawn after a storm. Lydia's letters evolved from pleas to reflections. Therapies, peeling layers, one read. Saw myself as victim, now perpetrator, kids visit. We'd allowed supervised ones, hearts guarded. Mia, now 11, went first, hesitant questions prepared. Why mom? Lydia's answer, tears honesty. Jealousy blinded me, hurt everyone. No excuses. Progress. Victor remained distant letters, Kurt focused on reform classes. His parole hearing loomed in years. We opposed early release in statements. Actions have weight, I wrote. Daily life wove new threads. Mia's coding prowess bloomed. She built an AI ethics app for school-winning nationals. For Aunt Gabby, she dedicated. The 09 channeled energy into soccer, his team's spirit a balm. Luca 5, curious explorer, asking endless whys about family history. We answered truthfully. Now, no more veils. Photo albums open Gabriella's smiles, Lydia's childhood grins, warnings woven in. Love doesn't excuse harm, Marcus taught. Community embraced us. Tech conferences invited keynotes from betrayal to resilience. I shared unvarnished our oversights, warning signs. Audit relationships like code find bugs early. Audiences nodded. Some shared stories, forming bonds. Angelo's family stayed close, barbecues revived laughter genuine. His wife Maria confided, suspected Victor's sleaze early, glad you fought. Personal milestones marked healing. Our 40th anniversary, quiet cruise as dreamed. No galas, just waves talks. Regrets? Marcus asked under stars. Many, but growth from them. He squeezed my hand. You saved us. We did. Grandkids' school plays graduation's milestones missed by their parents, filled by us. Mia's first dance, Nono teach waltz, Marcus obliged tears hidden. Lydia's breakthrough, a prison program letter, teaching inmates business ethics, irony yes, but atonement. Visited more conversations deepened. Forgive Gabriella's part, she asked once. Working on it, I said. You daily. Not full absolution, but steps. Victor's associate's arrest closed old Loop's debts collected legally now. No more threats. RossiTech's Gabriella Fund expanded global reach, empowering hundreds. At a gala fundraiser ironic venue, I met a scholar. Your story inspired. Building secure nets like you. Legacy redeemed. Yet night's doubts whispered. Had we missed signs earlier, therapy affirmed, hindsight clear, forward focus. 4 years post-parole for Victor denied. Lydia's decades away. Kids thrived. Mia interned at RossiTech full circle. Proud Nona. We were too. Healing's mosaic pieces fit picture clearer. Family redefined, stronger in breaks. Looking back now, 5 years after the courtroom doors closed on Lydia and Victor, I can say we've forged a new kind of peace, one built on the ruins of what was but stronger for the cracks we've mended. RossiTech isn't just a company anymore. It's a beacon, its value tripled since the IPO with branches in Europe and Asia. I fully retired, handing the reins to Mia, who at 13 shows the same fire Gabriella had interning summers, already patenting her first algorithm. Nona's apprentice, she calls herself with a grin. Theo 11 dreams of architecture, sketching sustainable offices for our campuses. Luca 7, the storyteller, weaves tales of our family adventures, turning pain into legends for his school friends. There are redemption living proof that love can outlast betrayal, but echoes linger. Lydia's prison visits have become quarterly rituals, structured, honest exchanges. She's earned a degree in psychology behind bars leading groups for inmates on breaking cycles. Irony doesn't escape me, she said last time, her eyes clearer, less haunted. I study what broke me, envy, unchecked want. We talk of the kids. She sends letters they read selectively. Proud of Mia's app, one noted. Forgiveness. It's a bridge we've crossed halfway. I killed part of us. She confessed fully 2 years in. Gabriella's confrontation, I snapped tools in hand. No accident. Hearing it again, unprompted, loosened knots in my chest. Marcus attends sometimes, his silence thawing to words. We all paid. No hugs through glass, but understanding fragile real. Victor parole granted after 28 years served, but he's a shadow now released last month to a halfway house in L.A. Letters stopped. Rumors via Ramirez he's counseling at-risk investors on ethical finance. Ironic. We declined contact. His choices, Marcus said. Grandkids know vaguely, Dad made mistakes far away. If they seek him later, we'll support no more secrets. Our home evolved too. A smaller wing added for the kids' spaces, walls painted with their art. Evenings echo old ones, espresso board games instead of strategies. Marcus's garden yields veggies for family meals, his health stable with meds and walks. Stronger ticker, he jokes. We travel now Italy last summer, tracing Nonna's roots. Kids marveled at ruins, like our story, broken but standing. Community ties deepened. Gabriella Fund scholars visit diverse voices innovating cybersecurity for underserved regions. A young woman from Kenya pitched an app detecting digital fraud in villages. Your loss fueled this, she said. Funded it on spot. Annual gala. Yes, we reclaim that word, raises millions, honoring survivors of corporate betrayal. I keynote vigilance in success, question loyalties. Applause heals, but I scan crowds for familiar faces, old colleagues who knew whispers but stayed silent. Personal reflections hit in quiet moments. Therapy ended last year, but lessons stick. You didn't create the monster, you loved blindly. Marcus and I renew vows privately. Beach at dawn, kids as witnesses. Through storms, he vowed, and rebuilds, I added. Yet teasers of unrest flicker. A cryptic email last week, rot runs deep watch successors, traced to a disgruntled ex-board member fired in audits. Harmless Ramirez investigates, and Lydia hinted in her last visit, old accomplices out there, Kyle wasn't last. Bluff or truth. We bolstered home security just in case. Mia senses it. Nonna, another chapter. She asks, eyeing my journal. Perhaps. Our story's not done, empires evolve families too, but for now we thrive in the light we've reclaimed, watchful for shadows.